Okay, hey guys, so tonight we're going to talk about closing the sale, which several of you this week have talked to me about that you're seeming to have a hard time. People seem interested and they ask for more information, you give them info, and then you get crickets and nobody will respond. So we're going to talk more about how to encourage people along, what to expect, how to handle that situation, and ways to improve your likelihood of actually closing the sale. Now, a lot of this stuff I gathered from network marketing experts in the field and some really good blogs that were written. For me personally, I just know that I plant seeds. Each time I talk to someone, it's like we're farmers rather than hunters. So every time I talk with someone, I'm just planting a seed in their mind, and I'm patient, knowing that this is a journey. It's not, the likelihood of someone signing on or ordering from me the very first time I talk to them is very, very low. So I'm just sharing information. All right, so let me share with you some important information that I gathered. And this isn't really in any particular order. We're just going to kind of go through it, and you guys can maybe get some good information, write some pointers or tips down that you like that would help you. So one of the, actually a few of the experts said that typically most people, they don't like to or can't, maybe have a hard time is the better word, making decisions on their own. They really need coaxing and encouragement, someone to guide them along the process and help them make a decision. So in that case, those people are going to do well when we kind of coach them along and encourage them and help them decide, like, if you gave them a list of all the products that we have, they'd probably just sit there and not really know what to do if you didn't find out what their health problems are and then recommend something for them. And another thing that other experts were saying is that you really have to lead them in that conversation, but not pressure them, because the moment they feel that they're being pitched a sales pitch, then that's when they immediately almost like put up a wall and start looking for excuses. They're like, oh, this is a sales pitch. I got to find my way out of this. So they start looking for those, oh, it's too expensive, or, oh, my husband doesn't want me to do it, or you name it, and they'll come up with an excuse because they feel they're being sold to. So if you sense that someone's just giving you an excuse, I always, anytime there's an excuse, I think two things in my mind. One is I can share information that counters their excuse that will help them. But two, I understand that usually that excuse is not what's holding them back. There's something else going on in their mind and they're just not ready yet. And so I know to, almost in a way, just back up. Don't make them feel pressured. Respect that they're not ready yet, and just share information. And, as long as you're showing that you care about what their situation is and you're not pressuring them, and that you're okay if they decide they don't want to do it, it kind of changes the switch back mentally, that they're, oh, okay, well, maybe she's not pressuring me. Maybe she really is just trying to help me. So think those two things. I mean, if they say it's too expensive, obviously follow up with, the cost comparisons and those kinds of things. But as long as they don't sense that you're trying to pressure them in. Okay, another thing is, so for the people who struggle with making a decision, just think of each time that you talk to them as you're wanting to give them more information to help them make that decision. You're not pushing them, you're just giving them information. Every time you follow up, you're giving them additional information. And you're helping move them towards making the decision. And know in your mind, though, that it is a process. And for most people, it can take maybe 30 to 90 days for them to come to a decision on their own. I mean, we can help them along by encouraging and, being positive and telling them, ways that it'll help them and being, making it being fun. But usually people want to sit around and watch. They want to watch and see if it's working for you. They want to see what other people do. They really want to kind of weigh it out and feel it out before they decide, and that's okay. You've planted that seed. You just continue to water that seed with them, follow up periodically, and eventually when they're ready, they'll let you know. I would treat every no that someone gives you as a not yet in your mind, okay? Do not let someone's no discourage you. It simply means I'm not ready. Doesn't mean I won't ever order, trust me, because a lot of my skeptics that told me no and were really against it in the beginning are now on my team. So just because they say no doesn't mean that that's a permanent no. Just continue to nurture that friendship and, maybe don't talk to them about Plexus for a while. Respect that they've said no, but, keep sharing about, how cute their kids are, and I want to hang out and just have fun and build the relationship and friendship, just because they don't want to, buy into what you're doing for your business and your health journey doesn't mean that they're not a great friend. And as long as they see that you're growing that friendship, then they're more likely to feel comfortable coming back to you and telling you when they're ready. All right. So another thing is to be positive. And I talked about having a positive attitude last week. And I hope that if you didn't get a chance to listen to that training meeting, you can jump on there and listen to that because it really is key. In fact, some of these experts are saying that having a good energy and confidence when talking to people is about 55% of what you need to successfully close your sale or have someone join you. And people can actually sense your negative thoughts or your doubt or your skepticism. So make sure that when you're typing or talking, that you are in the mindset that you assume that they will buy or join, okay? Because if you talk to them and type with the mentality of, they're excited and they're going to join up, it makes you feel positive and they sense that positivity, okay? All right, the next thing is getting third-party validation can always help. So if you're new or, they're just not, maybe they want more information or you just don't feel like they're still unsure, one thing that you can do is you can ask if they'd like to do a 3-way call with me. And I will be glad to do that with you. You can also invite them to a local event if there's any going on. Because when they go to those and they hear other people talking about it, they hear the enthusiasm, they hear some other success stories, then it validates what you're sharing. And it is more likely to get them to take the next step. Okay. Simon Sinek, that is a video that I've shared on the team page, and I'm going to share it again under this training call. But Simon Sinek is one that Lori Harrison recommended, and he did a video on basically making sure that you speak to people with your why you're doing stuff. And he says that people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. So if what you do is sell health and wellness products, they don't buy it for that. They buy it for why you're doing it. So if you're doing it because of your success story and they like that, if you're doing it because of the financial freedom that it's given you, if you're doing it because you like to work from home or because the products are GMO free, whatever your why is, share that with them. And they're more likely that if that agrees with what they believe, then they want to get on board too. And then he also gave a really good explanation in his video that showed the percentages of people who get on board initially versus those who watch and wait. And usually it's about 15% of the people who are going to be comfortable making those gut decisions and jumping on board before anybody else because they don't wait around and wait to see how others like it. They're the people who want to be first and they're willing to be adventurous and try something new. So knowing that statistic, 15% of the people you talk to are likely to try the products without waiting. Everybody else is going to watch and wait. So, just know that. Eventually, once you get to the point where it crosses over that 15% and more are joining, then all those others who are watching and waiting, that's when you build that momentum, and then those other people start jumping in and it really snowballs. So it is a process getting started, but that's a good video to watch too. Okay, another one that I really like is it was a website that had some really great tips, and I'm going to post the link to that particular article underneath. So again, this is not my information. I'm just sharing this. I didn't come up with this on my own. But he talked about, in order to close more sales, it's really about building the relationship with people. And he said that you really want to lead them to trust and have that relationship and let them decide when they're ready to buy. And again, that's kind of what I talked about earlier. But with each contact, with each follow-up, you're just giving them information and you're showing that you care. You're deepening that relationship, planting a seed. And as they are beginning to trust that you're not pressuring them, and as you give them more information, then eventually when they get to that level where they're like, you know what, I really like her and she cares about me and I've got enough information that I really feel like this could help me, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to ask her some questions. And when they start asking you questions, that's when they've expressed that they're interested, and that's the time to really try and close the sale at that point. So here are the 4 steps that he says once they reach out to you that will help you. Number 1 is to remember that he says practice attraction marketing. And he says getting leads to reach out to you. That's what attraction network marketing is. So rather than like hard selling or pressuring or cold calling, you're trying to just give people information in your posts, or when you send them just a really brief little private message about, hey, I'd like to share more information if you're interested, and then letting them message you when they're ready. People make decisions based on their emotions. And if we can connect with them on an emotional level, then they're more likely to want that. And he said that the best way to connect with them is to figure out what their greatest pain is. What is their biggest problem that they're facing? Is it health problems? Is it weight loss? Is it financial struggles? Which actually prompted me to think about the Victor Antonio training that was done at Leaders Retreat. So I'm actually going to put that training call that talked about the 3 W's. I'm going to put that underneath this so you guys can watch that if you want to follow up on that. But as a little tangent note here, Victor Antonio talked about the 3 W's are weight loss, wellness, and wealth. And if in talking to someone, you can figure out which 3 is what they're really looking for, not even discussing Plexus, just in listening to them talk. Maybe they're always seem to be venting about how, money's so tight and their car's broken down. And, if that seems to be the theme, then you know that the business opportunity is one way to approach them. If they're talking about how they wish they could lose weight, or, they just communicate that to you, then weight loss is a focus. And then wellness, maybe they're in no need of losing weight, but they've got migraines or just no energy or some anxiety. So just keep those 3 things in mind, because depending upon where they communicate their greatest need, that's how you're going to approach them with the business. You'll either approach them with trying the products, because the products might be able to help them with that problem, or the business, if and both, Okay, so he says, back to this article. So when you figure out what their greatest pain is, you can offer a solution and explain how Plexus can help with that solution. And so each time you're sharing information, let's say let's say they communicate that they just have no energy and they're not sleeping well at night, then you can say, wow, that must be really hard for you. Connect with them emotionally, build that relationship, show you care, and then say, you know, I used to have that problem, but I found a product that's really been helping me with that. I wonder if you might be interested in learning more about it. I've got a sample, or I can send you an email. Just something so that it shows, you know what, you're not trying to sell something. You're just sharing something that might be able to help them. And then each time that you share info, you just explain further how it can help them. So in your mind, make sure that you're communicating. You're not desperate for them to buy. You're not stressed that, you know, oh my gosh, like, I don't think she's going to order from me, or, you know, really nervous. Just have confidence. Believe in your products. You know, explain how you truly think this can help them. And then, you know, go into it with ease, knowing that, hey, you know what, this is my friend and I really want to help her. And if helping her is her ordering these products, I want to share the information that she needs so she can make a good decision about, or he, about which products would best help her in this situation, or joining the business because I know this would really help her financially. But if they say no, a good friend is also going to just say, well, you know what, if this isn't what's going to help them and they're not ready for that, I respect that because I want to help them through their situation. And if they're not ready, then that's okay. You know, a lot of times we get discouraged and frustrated by that no. And we just have to remember that a no is just one step closer to a yes. It's just planting a seed. Don't let those no's discourage you. Don't let them make you feel emotionally like, you know, I don't want you to feel like, man, I can't get anybody to do this and I may just have to quit. Well, in my mind, I'm doing this because I love the products. I'm getting the products at wholesale cost. And if I can share things that are helping, that's great. But you know what? Even if nobody buys from me, that's okay because it's been so good for me that I'm going to keep on taking my products. I'm not going to just up and quit because, you know, nobody wants to buy from me. I'm just going to keep sharing. There's some months where all I get is crickets, and you know, I can message people and I get crickets. Nobody's responding. I make posts and nobody's liking the post. That's okay. I promise people are watching. And when they're ready, after you've shared enough information and showed enough care that you're really there to help, you're just sharing your journey and what's working for you, then they will reach out to you. All right. And then the next thing that he said, number 2, is make sure and he said, as you're sharing those things, the more you share information without seeming like you're trying to get a sale, the more people are going to trust that you're a leader. So again, consistency in your posting and sharing information. They'll see you as a leader and then they'll reach out to you when they're ready. All right. So number 2 is consultative selling. So, you know, being a, like a consulting agent rather than a salesperson. So you want them to know that you're just someone who can help answer their questions and give them information. So when they contact you, you are a person to help offer solutions. And then that leads to number 3. You'll need to explain how Plexus is a solution to their problem. So you've got to know those problems. You can't explain how Plexus can help if you don't even know what their problems are. So one of the first things that I ask them is, what are your health concerns? Or what is your weight loss goal if they've already communicated that they want to lose weight? Figure out, maybe they've communicated that they might be interested in joining the business. Maybe ask them are you currently involved in network marketing, or what would it take for you to feel like you're successful with this? Something so that you know what their goals are. That helps you in knowing how to lead them and help them in making a decision. And then one of the most important overlooked steps that almost all of the research that I looked into said, the 67% of people fail to do this one thing that's very crucial, and that is asking for the sale. So when you get through and you've shared the information, you've shared how Plexus could help them, you've communicated that you care about them and you think this would be great for them, ask them if they would like to try it. So one thing that I say after I've shared that information and they still seem fairly open to hearing about it is, are you ready to get started? Or I might say, I'm so excited to help you on your health journey. Or I'm looking forward to helping you reach your goals. Are you ready to get started? Maybe they want to join. And then I say, I'm so excited to have you join my team. I'm looking forward to helping you reach your success goals. How can we help you how can we get started? Are you ready to get started? Something like that. Inviting them to go ahead and get started today. Again, if most people have a hard time making a decision, they're going to sit and ponder all this. But if you ask that question, are you ready to get started today? The worst that can happen is they say, no, I really need to think about it a little bit more. Or no, I need to wait till I get paid next Friday. The worst that they can say is no. If you don't ask, then both of you walk away without what you need. You walk away without your sale, and they walk away without their products or their new business. So always ask. Don't be afraid of the no. All right, so that is pretty much what I gathered. I'd love to answer a few questions with you guys if you want to unmute your mics and ask any helpful tips. So what'd you think?
I was just curious. This is Pearl. Hi.
Hi, Pearl.
I was just curious to know. I was under the impression about the volume and all that being met. I guess I misunderstood somewhere along the lines. I guess bottom line, I was just curious to know if, let's say, right now, this past week, I signed on my friend, Julie. She couldn't make it on the call. And let's say, for example, she's low on her volume. Can other ambassadors purchase volume from another one or purchase on their site to help them out if they've already met their volume?
Yeah, no, it's not recommended because Plexus doesn't want the same credit card being used on multiple accounts. So if you, if you want to buy them a gift or offer an incentive for them to buy or buy products from them, that's your prerogative. But, you're not supposed to use your credit card to purchase from them. There was actually a little bit of dishonesty going on with people basically buying their rank advancements. And that's not encouraged. So really we just need to have our sales be our personal volume. So my own products and those of my friends that are my customers ordering counts as my PV. And then my team below me will be sharing with their friends and family and their own products to try to get to that PV.
Okay, no, it's just something that, I've worked with network marketing before with another company, and that's what they would say, oh, by the way, Maria's low on her volume. Can someone purchase so she can meet her $400 quota or whatever? So that's
right.
What I was curious on. But I mean,
a lot,
I'm going to follow everything in the guidelines.
Yeah. And that's a great question. I think that a lot of other companies' comp plans are actually set up so that your rank advancements are determined by the entire team's PV below you. Okay, so you have to have like 10,000 in sales below you to move up to a certain rank and that kind of thing. So, or maybe each person has to be at 500 or 1,000 before you can move up to the next rank. Our rank advancements aren't based on, each level being at a certain sales volume total. Everyone has to meet their minimum. If they meet their 100 minimum, they're considered active, and then they count how many active ambassadors you have and you're given, credit for those points. So it's a different it's different in that. But I think that the great thing about the way that they do that is that your commission, you get paid commission. So if I'm going to spend $100 out of my pocket and that other comp plan is encouraging you to buy from another ambassador, I'm spending that $100 to help someone else because they haven't met their quota, but then I'm not getting commission off of that. Does that make sense? If I spend $100 and I put it towards my own purchase, then I get commission off of my $100 that I spent. So essentially I'm saving money and I'm getting paid.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Paid on what I make. And then the other thing about that is I'm not having to pressure my downline to sell a certain quota so that I can move up in rank. I'm just encouraging everyone to be active. So meeting that $100 minimum. If they don't meet it, that's okay. That, not everyone's going to be active each month. But for a company to then say, well, to be this rank, they only need 100, but then for the next rank, they need 300. Everybody needs 300, or as a team, you have to have this. Then that's when the pressure tactics among the team really start. And I find that I really don't like to pressure my team. Everybody's at a different place in their finances. So I'm happy that we work in a company where we don't have to pressure each other.
I agree.
All right. Any other questions regarding the closing of sales or finalizing the, getting people off the fence?
I guess I had another question.
Sure.
Are we to encourage potentials, let's say, for example, potential ambassadors to try out the products first with a 60-day money-back guarantee versus signing on right away without even trying the product first due to the 5-day only money-back guarantee? I guess what are the pros and cons of that as far as like, I guess bottom line is that I need to make some money. I love the product, but I want to earn some money substantially to where I don't have to worry about, I joined the company to make cash,
Absolutely.
to pay my bills, pay my taxes. And that's what I joined. That's why I joined it, because I read up about the comp plan. So I guess, what do I encourage them to try out the products first? Do I get paid more when they try out the products first and then join?
That's a great question, and I can answer that. So for me, when I'm talking to a prospect, I'm going to be looking for those 3 W's again: weight loss, wellness, or wealth. If they communicate to me that they're interested in the business building side and they really want to do this as a business, as long as I'm open and I share and let them know that the 60-day money-back guarantee applies to customers only, a lot of people they recognize the opportunity of the business and they want to go ahead and get started. For me, I'd seen so many friends have personal success. I'd tried it and tasted it and I liked it. And some of my friends had great financial success. I believed in the business opportunity and I jumped in right away, and I didn't need to try it as a customer. For others, if they're not sure it's going to work for them, or there's any kind of doubt or hesitation in their mind, then I would encourage them to go as a customer first, because then they have the peace of mind of knowing they get that money back guarantee. And not only that, but it is actually financially better for you if they're not planning to work the business yet, for them to be a customer. And the reason why is, if you are able, assuming that you're at 500 in sales and you're getting that 25% commission, one preferred customer who orders the Fab 4, let's say they get the Fab 4, that's what most people really like. And these are the numbers that I've already run in my head, so that's what we're going to talk about. A Fab 4 preferred customer, assuming you're at 500, is going to give you $65 for that one order because of the preferred bonuses on those products and the commission on the products. $65. Now, if that same person signs up as an ambassador, you'll get your one-time welcome pack bonus, which is $25 to $50, depending on which welcome pack they get. And then you're going to get $15 a month. Okay, not assuming, assuming they're not growing their team. If they're growing a team, you're going to get paid for their team that's being added and points on their, their downline.
Right.
Just assuming that I want to try out the products at the lowest cost. They're thinking that they don't want to do it as a business. They just want the best cost. I want to try it first. If they sign up and do it like that, you're only going to make the welcome pack bonus and $15 a month. So I have learned that if someone isn't really eager to do the business side, I encourage them to go the preferred customer route first, because it's better for me financially, and then they've got the money back guarantee. If they seem to be like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to jump all in. The first few weeks, I'm just going to see how I do, and I'm going to learn behind the scenes, and then I'll be ready to start the business. Then I go ahead and encourage. Now, there's really two schools of thought. A lot of the leaders will tell you that unless they're going to grow their team and do a business, it's better for the company if they are preferred customers. And the reason they say that is because if they're only ordering their own products, then their average sales is going to be down near 100, right? Assuming they order like the triplex, that's, around 100. So our points bonus that we're paid is based on the total of all the products sold divided by the number of ambassadors. So if you think about, if the average each ambassador has is 100 because they're wholesale customers, then it's a lower average. It brings the average down, and our pay point bonus is less. So they recommend that you don't sign up people for the wholesale discount. However, Celeste did for that reason, because Jen was like, really, you need to sign up, and so she signed up as a wholesale customer, and then she ended up the first month after she wasn't trying to do the business the first month, but when she got that paycheck, she's like, wow, this is legit. Maybe I am going to work this. So there are some people who get in and they get a little bit of a paycheck. It gives them a taste of the fact that they can make some money, and then they get excited and start working the business. So I wouldn't say there's one right or wrong answer, Pearl. It really just depends on how you feel that potential friend is giving you the vibes. If they're like unsure it's going to help them, kind of hesitant, I'd go the preferred customer. If they seem really eager and excited and they're okay to give up that 60-day money-back guarantee because they want to get started in the business, or they really want the lowest cost, then go ahead. Let them do the ambassador route. Does that answer the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the other thing about that is, as far as long-term building your team, initially when you get started, preferred customers is going to be the larger part of your paycheck because your commission earnings are higher than your pay point bonus. But as you're growing your team and you're earning around $15 a person, as your team gets larger, eventually that pay point bonus will outnumber your commission check. So it's important to be adding to both, okay? The commission is going to be your early paychecks. The pay point bonus is like that retirement residual income that's going to keep coming in as your team grows. So you're doing the right thing by adding both. Just try and sense where their lead is and guide them in that way.
Will do.
All right. Any other questions? Nope. All right. I'm going to stop the recording then. Have a good night, everyone.